Oh my God! Did you see Gravity?
Yes, I did the other
Wow!
night.
Wow! 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 I can't believe that's one of the best produced films I've ever seen.
It was like a roller coaster ride for 2 hours, and you were on the edge of your seat and holding your breath for pretty much 2 hours, and it was a lot of fun, to say the least. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it had everything. It had beautiful film shots, and then it would have like a long, intense scene, and then it would have like a sweet moment. It was everything. It was like you're saying, a roller coaster. It was an action adventure video game come to life on screen, and it was good. It was good.
It was. I agree. I agree. I enjoyed every minute of it, and seeing it in IMAX 3D sort of enhances that experience because I was nervous about it. I have a vision problem, so I have trouble seeing 3D.
Hmm.
But the only IMAX offering was 3D, so I figured let me give it a shot. If it doesn't work, I'll see it again in a regular screen. But it
Right.
worked. I saw the
Right.
3D. I was enamored by it.
Oh God. I mean, yeah. It was incredible. I guess if you were to hold on, Brian. Wow. Where's Brian? Brian, what did you think of this movie? Brian, Brian's off the call. Hold on.
I'm here, bro.
Brian, what did you think of the movie?
It's Brian.
Brian,
I like to go on record and say that was not me. That's all George.
your mic quality's terrible.
I know.
Are you calling from the space station in Gravity as it's being destroyed?
Funny guy. No, I'm not. I'm calling from my home, the satellite. And I did get a chance to see the film, and I felt like I cheated myself.
Why's that?
Because I saw it on a regular screen as opposed to IMAX, and I didn't get the full experience.
Yeah, I almost did that as well. George actually convinced me to go IMAX 3D, and it was well worth it. This was an experience. There's not much bad you could say about the film. I mean, you could, but you would really have to start nitpicking.
Right.
After the film, this woman behind me goes, "That script sucked." I wanted to drop kick her. I couldn't
Yeah,
believe she said that.
I'm sure she's a seasoned novice screenplay writer, and she's got a stack of them at home, and that's why she's able to say that this sucked, right? I mean, everything's objective, obviously. A friend of mine actually saw it as well, and he didn't like it. He
Really?
told me it should have been a 15-minute short film. There was no character development, and I'm like, hey, wait
Oh
a minute.
God.
It's not about. A movie like this is not about character development. They're two astronauts surviving their current situation, and it gives you a little history by the dialogue. You know what each person is, where they've been, in short, and what they're doing there, basically. So
Yeah.
I don't know what other character development is required for a movie like this.
And this was
And
made by Alfonso Cuarón, who did, you remember Children of Men, those, which I love, long takes, like 5,
Hmm.
10 minute shots. And this film opened up with a 10-minute shot to the point where I was like, wow, they might not cut any time in the movie. And there was a lot of those. There was a lot of those scenes.
Yeah, it was basically all CGI, so there can be a million cuts, which there definitely were.
Yeah, but it wasn't like irresponsible CGI. It looked good. It looked as crisp of a space movie as Aliens, except
Hmm.
it was out there in space.
uh,
To the
and
point
I'll
where
be
you were like,
surprised.
did they shoot some of this in space? Like they were floating around in the space station. Water looks like it would in space. Fire looks like it would in space. The Earth looks like it would from space. And they even had the little details like the juice boxes that the astronauts really drink floating around and stuff like that.
I know. I want to float around a little bit. It looks a lot like a lot of fun.
The one thing I guess you could say is, well, first of all, George Clooney was perfect in his role, and what control he has just in general. I realized the one thing about Clooney that's so good is that he portrays control. Even as the ish was hitting the fan in the movie, he was completely in control to the point where, in a way, you felt safe with him there, even though he was in peril.
Yeah, it was really good. Sandra Bullock's character was just a doctor up there, right? Was she a doctor? Obviously, she that was her first mission.
Yeah, she
up
was
into
basically
space.
having a panic attack. That's the one thing I think that I would criticize about the film is Sandra Bullock. Some of the scenes were they were okay. You know, our generation does not have a Sigourney Weaver. And obviously they went for double draw with Clooney and Bullock as ultimate draws. So they went double draw for the big money, and I think it's going to pay off. What did the film rating get? It didn't get an R. It's got some sort of PG rating. This movie's
No,
going
it's
to make
PG-13.
gangbusters money. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a PG-13. The budget was $80 million.
Wow.
And
This
I think
is,
it made back its money in no time.
Did it?
It was projected to make $50 million this weekend, or close to it. So
it should. I don't see why not.
You know, taking the fact that we on the show, you know, delve into critical little topics of story structure and stuff like that, all that stuff aside, just in terms of a movie watching experience, this is going to go down as like a height of modern cinema, a feat of modern cinema. This was extremely well produced. Probably won't win any. If it wins, it could win Best Picture because of the.
I'll tell you what. It'll win the technical awards,
yes,
best sound and best special effects. I can't see any other film coming out this year that's gonna give it any competition. You know, to be
it
honest.
won't win Best Editing, as there was almost no cuts in the whole movie.
Well, maybe not, or maybe so. Who knows?
Yeah, it won't win. It won't win like Best Actor. Clooney might get a supporting nod for it because he was just, you know, he was funny. The whole audience was very engaged with him the whole time.
Right. But I will say this, that, you know, I think this is probably one of Sandra Bullock's best roles that she's gotten in recent years.
Oh, gosh, she was in amazing shape for a 40-year-old woman. She was in very badass shape.
50, actually.
50?
She's nearing, she's 49 now. So,
oh, God bless her. I mean, she was in perfect shape. I guess you have to be if you're playing an astronaut.
Right.
But really, really good shape. George, you said that one scene that she was kind of freezing, that you said her plastic surgery was showing through. I didn't realize that unless you would have said it. To me, it just looked like her skin was cold.
No, I mean throughout the whole movie. Oh, I saw her on, was it Jon Stewart or something like that, one of those shows. And when she came on, she looked really good, really in shape, really healthy. But at the same time, you can tell she's had work done, like Botox and collagen and all that kind of stuff. And her face, her upper lip is stiff. And all up in her eye area, she's gotten Botox, and that's kind of stiff as well. And that showed to me a lot when the shit was hitting the fan, when she was coming back into the atmosphere. Her expressions were kind of stiff. When they never used to be. Obviously, you know, in Speed, that was 20 years ago, she's going to look a lot younger. But it was good. I don't know, it's not plastic surgery, it's just, upgrades, I guess. Human upgrades.
Upgrades.
I mean, it doesn't look bad, but at the same time, you can tell that she's had work done. And I've been a Sandra Bullock fan for a long time. I've always found her very dashing.
Yeah, okay. I've liked her too. The only thing I ever didn't like that she did was in the movie The Blind Side. There was a scene where the other women in the neighborhood were like, "You're letting that black boy sleep in the same house as your daughter?" And she just went up to them and she was like, "Shame on you." That was so corny. But everything else she's done is pretty cool.
Yeah.
She was hot in Miss Congeniality. She was so hot in that movie.
I would have preferred a horror actress in this role. I thought it would have made the film itself much better, but at the same time, she is the draw. Women will flock to a movie that has Sandra Bullock. Who's a higher draw than her? Julia Roberts, who doesn't make any movies?
Well, yeah. At this point, I would say Sandra Bullock is the top female box office drawer as of now. And the only one who could probably give her a run for her money is probably maybe Angelina Jolie, who hasn't made a film in how many years, but is still a name.
Brian, seriously, are you on the space station? Your mic quality's terrible.
Oh, go F yourself, as I was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Brian, it sounds like you're on the Russian space station.
It's right, bitch.
Are you on the Russian space station or the Chinese?
I'm not a commie. Well, so that should pretty much tell you that I'm not on either one of those. And thank you for the theme music.
Brian, can you say Mission Control, we're flying blind?
Mission Control, we're flying blind. Anyone hear me? Anyone out?
All right. Brian's getting upset.
No, I'm not. Not yet.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and every once in a while there was something so crazy that happened, and when there was moments of rest or like nothing crazy was going on, all of a sudden they'd go into these beautiful, iconic film shots, which will go down in memory. This movie itself will go down in memory. But the most iconic one I can remember is Sandra Bullock floating in the little circular pod with oxygen tubes floating around her that basically looks like she's cradled in the fetal position with an umbilical cord as the oxygen tube.
Yeah.
There was a lot of great human themes, like humans rising into existence and becoming bipeds, or just people working together. And it took every country and every nationality and all the technology working together for survival of the human race, quote unquote. As there was only a couple actors in this movie. That really, in terms of actors shown in close-ups, it was only Bullock or Clooney.
Right.
No,
aside from the rest.
Aside from who?
Aside from the other astronauts who were, unfortunately, spoiler alert, dead.
Okay, the only living people that had any like lines on camera were really, and yeah, I don't want to give too much away. Just everyone, if you haven't seen it already, go watch it. This is gonna go down. This is gonna be the one. This was the one of the year. I will say that. A big budget movie. This really shines through.
Ed Harris provided the voice of Houston.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a near perfect film. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't say it was my favorite of all time, but it was. I will honestly rank it in terms of American films up there with The Godfather as classic American films, cinema.
Ooh, that's
that's quite a bit of an argument there, Chris.
What I mean, what else? Name me a more epic movie than this.
Oh, American? I guess those Lord of the Rings don't count, do they?
Nah. Those were good. Anyway, I don't mean to sound like a fanboy over this movie, but it was really good. It was worth watching. And it's going to be one of those movies it's going to be on cable, and you're going to watch it when it comes on cable.
Right. Now, just for laughs, guys, did any of you see Don John?
Well, let's get into that next episode. I saw it. I did see something new that premiered this week. Did you guys have anything more on Gravity?
Nope.
No, it was good. I enjoyed it. That's about it.
Yeah, I did see Super Fun Night with Rebel Wilson.
Mm.
And I thought it was going to be... I thought I was going to have the same reaction you just did, but it was actually hilarious, where I was laughing out loud the whole way through.
Really?
Yeah, swear to God. She is so funny, and she takes any little comedy scene, which granted, it's a network show, so there's a lot of networky sitcom-y feel to it, but she takes it in a very good direction. What she does, the whole vibe of the show is that even though she might have little successes in life and be very happy, there'll always be someone that comes up and slaps her down, which is perfect for comedy because, you can't win all the time. And the fact that, she's a big fat chick, she doesn't look classically attractive.
No.
They keep it real by even, let's say even if she were to win a trophy, for instance, just for example, there would be one random person in the crowd who would just totally disrespect her and slap her down. But her character just takes it all in stride because she's so used to that for her whole life. So there were moments where, like, she had a victorious moment, and then someone came up to her and was like, "Could I get a picture of you guys?" And then she went to go in the picture, and the guy was like, "Oh, not you. No, go." And the jokes were funny. Her facial reactions are so funny. She's such, like, a wanton. She does a lot of the things that, like, if you've ever struggled with weight, you'll definitely associate with, but laugh at the same time. She has a supporting character that plays like an Irish chick that's like her best friend, who could be sweet but also hard ass and could really run the range of emotions. She's not just a sarcastic bitch character. She's actually could be nice. She could be bitchy. So it's kind of interesting to see a supporting character like that, or the comic foil that could give you any reaction. So the comic foil is also funny. The formula of the show, I could see the show lasting for a while based on the formula of the first episode.
Oh, interesting. I'm
Yeah.
just not a big fan of Rebel Wilson's
I know
humor.
someone else told me that too, and I said just watch it. Just watch it. Just give it a shot. And I'll tell you that too. We'll give it a shot.
Is it her disgusting quality, George?
What's that?
Oh yeah, I mean
Her...
they definitely do. If you're not into sight gags and fat gags, they do a ton of that, you know. And they also have good written comedy as well. But it's a lot of like her trying to squeeze into pantyhose, and they're showing you pretty much everything. You see her fatness. Her fatness is out there, half naked for everyone to see. So they definitely go with that. I can't say it's very groundbreaking because in terms of a big woman on television, because Melissa McCarthy, I guess, is at the forefront of that.
That's true. Yeah, she's a big girl.
But it definitely lends itself to this whole female attitude era we have going on here, where it's balls out comedy, quote unquote, ovaries out comedy for women. This is really like the late 90s was for guys, is what's going on with chicks right now. It's like explosive, offensive sort of comedy.
In your face.
Yeah.
Yes.
This, you know what this is like? This is like the comedic version of the show Girls, in terms of how her character is. And how the character is like insecure, but also charming, and also nice, but constantly gets slapped down. And when you're watching Girls, George, I know you probably like this. I can't watch that show because it's just too much. It's too much of reality. This is like a comedic, fun version of that, where the character is like a constant optimist, but the whole world is slapping her down in funny ways. Oh, why didn't you want to watch this?
I just didn't find it interesting. I guess I don't like Rebel Wilson very much, so I don't want to devote any of my time watching it. I have no interest, basically. Not saying that it's no good or anything like that. I'm not interested.
I would challenge you to think about her as embodying the funniest fat person you knew growing up.
Chris Farley.
Well, no, I mean personal, in your personal life. What I think she's done very well, even though it's a show completely about her, it's a centerpiece show. What she's done very well is characterize someone who has issues with weight in a very funny way. Whereas if you're watching her, you're like, wow, I've seen that before, or I felt that way, or you would say, I used to have a friend just like that. Like there's little moments where she like bites her lip or like is insecure, and it's just she's really good at little nuances like that. And she knows what she is, and she's, as an actress, she's doing a great job playing it.
Yeah, she knows what her money is.
Yeah.
So all right.
Well,
maybe I'll give it a shot.
Hey, Chris, when does this show come on, by the way?
I think it's like Wednesdays or Thursdays on ABC or one of.
It's on Wednesdays on ABC after Modern Family.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was out of town, so I couldn't see it. So.
Because I watch Modern Family, that's fantastic. I've been watching it since it started several years ago. That's the best sitcom on television, hands down.
You watch it every week. I
started it again. I kind of lost touch with it. So I was catching random episodes online on ABC.com. But yeah, when I record it, I watch it every week.
You know, we got a little bit of criticism recently from a caller for that, the fact that we were talking about network television. George, could you pull that up?
Yeah, I have it right here. This is I'll call her Joe from Ronkonkoma, actually. And he's got a few things to say about what we have to do, which is interesting. He's got his opinions and whatnot.
That's a very interesting clip you played there.
Oh, I know.
That was brief.
What's your problem with Hugh Jackman, buddy?
What?
I mean, on top of being, one of the best superhero action stars out there, playing Wolverine, having razor blades come out his knuckles, the guy shows that he's got church organ pipes in Les Mis.
What?
And on top of that, he's in the, the 20-foot Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie. What do you call it? Real Steel. I mean, for my buck, Hugh Jackman, he gives you a well-rounded orchestra of talent there. Brian, how about some input, buddy? I mean, instead of talking about Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. all last episode, I mean, not even just you, Brian. It's all you guys talking about these network bullshit, network TV shows. Without, you're talking about your 2.5 Men, your Big Bang Theory, now Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. How about throwing out your idiot box, your 36, your 72-inch, whatever the hell it is, kick it to the curb, and join the online revolution that is the internet, my friends.
Yeah.
I think I've heard enough of this jack off. I'm sorry.
Joe from Ronkonkoma.
Does he have anything else to say?
He does actually, Chris. He talks about you.
What?
In another clip that he left, which is also interesting. I mean, I'd like to think that as well, but not necessarily true.
Please continue.
Jackman, buddy.
Oops, that was the wrong spot.
What is he saying about Hugh Jackman?
He was asking me what my problem was with Hugh Jackman.
All right, whatever. Next clip.
And Chris. I know you got a hard-on for all the cows in America, and you think there might be aliens spying on us, apparently.
Obviously, I like.
But I got news for you. I saw Food Inc. too, and the first thing I did was go out and get a Big Mac after I watched it. And let me tell you, watching that little, hipster Chipotle animation, I immediately went to McDonald's again, in spite of Chipotle, because of that ad. I mean, if you're going to be shedding a tear for a cartoon cow, then you haven't got a prayer in my book, buddy.
Well, screw you, Joe. But keep listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call.
Joe from Ronkonkoma, thank you very much. Hope to hear from you soon.
Well, it looks like I'm going to be making the trip.
Well, yeah, you're not very far from Ronkonkoma. You're about 40 minutes away, right?
Brian's coming to your house, Joe. He wants to have a word with you.
I need to have a word with you, Joe. Seriously.
Joe from Ronkonkoma.
Speaking of television, let's do the Breaking Bad convo. The finale didn't air until after we spoke last week.
Oh yeah, Brian, did you see it?
Yes, I did. And I actually was quite pleased for a guy, and this has come from a guy who doesn't really watch, or who just got kind of caught on to the hype and the phenomenon, and to see what transpired was really pleasing to me. So I have no complaints.
Yeah, we're not, Brian. This is a different combo. You could take the gravity space station effect off your voice now.
All right, to the host, go after yourself, and George, would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, not on what you said. I'm going to say my own piece because, from beginning to end, Breaking Bad has been basically the perfect show from episode 1, 5 seasons ago, to the final episode, which is maybe 65, something like that. This past 66. Sunday, 66, excuse me.
Wow.
The final episode wrapped everything up perfectly. There were barely any, if any loose ends. Barely. Everything was wrapped up perfectly throughout the seasons. There was references back to the pilot episode. It was all around a perfect ending. And throughout the course of the show, the transformation of Bryan Cranston's character, aka Walter White, was just magnificent. We're going from innocent chemistry teacher with a family to transforming twice to a meth empire killer, basically, and into a broken down man getting revenge with nothing to lose. 3 transformations, flawless, from the writer's perspective and from the actor's point of view. All in all, one of the best shows in history. I have to rank it maybe in my top 3. Number 1 is Sopranos. This might take number 2 for sure. No qualms about it. It had me on the edge of the seat, and every time I watched an episode, it was perfect. I'd say it was perfect.
You spent 66 hours doing that, huh?
Well, not consecutively.
I know it seems to be the buzz. This is like the number 2 to Sopranos. I guess obviously was the one who opened up the door to making TV cool, or bringing film lighting into TV and having engaging adult storylines on television, which is good in a way because it's better that more writers get more stories out there and more interesting things get seen. But in another way, the quality of this is a very bad thing, and how good this show was in terms of a sociological experiment is very bad for people.
How so?
There shouldn't be things this good on TV, because Breaking Bad and Sopranos convince people that TV's great, when in reality, TV's shit, and Breaking Bad and Sopranos were good shows.
Well, if those 2 examples are going to convince people that TV is great, then they're fairly narrow-minded people, because there's a million things on TV. A lot of it is shit. There's a select few that's really, really good. So I don't think I'm going to have to disagree with you and say that these shows are a bad thing because they're making people think that television is a good thing.
These shows convince you that you should stay home instead of going out that night, and then probably tomorrow night too, because something else is on.
No, but with the invention of a DVR and or a TiVo, that's out of the question at this point. You can do whatever you want and catch the show on your own time.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to agree with.
What?
Yeah, you're Space Station Brian. Are you there?
Boop, 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 boop. All right, Brian. It sounds like, I don't know, Brian. If you're there, I don't know if you could hear us.
He's redlined. He's dead.
Brian, you just got the Skype. Boop. I don't know. I guess he agrees with you, but this is very dangerous. This is telling people that I don't know. This is too long to be invested in stuff. And the thing is that just as many Breaking Bad that's out there, there's so many more shows that start good and go to absolute shit, but the people hang on forever.
Yeah, okay, but your argument doesn't make sense. If someone's willing to stick with it, are you, Brian? Have you resumed contact with Houston? Houston to Brian.
Yes.
Brian, sorry everyone out there. This show's having some technical difficulties.
Jeez.
I'm saying that for every show that's Breaking Bad, there's so many more shows that people stick around to see how it all plays out. And they stick around through 1 or 2 good seasons and a lot of seasons of shit. And most TV does not have a good ending. At least most American television tapers off to the point that it's unwatchable and then gets canceled. So what's the point of investing so much time in this medium that ultimately has no ending? Obviously, Breaking Bad is the exception to the rule. They get a good job from start to finish, which is less than 1% of it. This is less than 0.01% of the time in television.
Yeah, well, there's a beginning to everything, no?
Yeah, that's all. It's always beginnings and what happens next week, but there's no overall. I don't know. This is a great show. Don't get me wrong. I know it's a great show, but this reinforces people's idea that TV is worth sticking around for, when it's not, or maybe it's telling. Maybe it is upping the game on everyone else.
Absolutely, yeah. You're what you just said now, your second opinion is absolutely true. What you said before about reinforcing bad television, this in no way, shape, or form does that. If someone's a fan of this from jump, and they know it's good, it's not like this show is going to convince them to watch something else that's going to be as good. For example, because of this show, I started watching Low Winter Sun, which Breaking Bad led into. Is it as great of a show? No, but it's good television.
Yeah, but see that you're doing exactly what I'm saying. Most of these shows that are done with good lighting still sometimes have different directors each episode.
Yeah, of
Still,
course.
if you were to put them side by side with a movie where every second matters, they would seem boring. And if you just try to watch it thinking, oh, let me check this out, you might be bored. So a casual viewer might be bored.
No, but
Because
you
it's
can't
just
compare.
two people talking. It's still the same as TV. It's still cutting back and forth, two talking heads.
Yeah, that's what television is about. I mean,
Would you pay money to see that in a theater?
a movie version? Yeah, not 65 hours.
Whatever.
Whatever what?
But
Why I watched Modern Family. I didn't get led into super shit night or whatever you say is good. So your argument is null and void right there.
by the way, guys, are you gonna check out the Spanish version of Breaking Bad just for laughs?
No, I'm not gonna watch that.
Not even with
Blanco.
not even with the translation on. No.
I might watch. Yeah, I wonder if you're watching a show in Spanish and you turn on SAP if it translates it back into English.
Oh my god.
Then I might watch it.
All right. So I'm the highfalutin film snob, and you guys are the
Don't lump me into this shit. I just like the show.
you guys are the.
No, I'm defending a lot of good television. What you promoted before is bad television.
How do you know? You never saw the show.
There's no reason for me to watch it.
Oh, bullshit.
Bullshit what?
Yeah, because you're a misogynist and you could only watch shows that have attractive women.
Absolutely
no offense
not.
to Rebel Wilson. I'm sure someone finds you attractive, like some. Never mind. All right, what happened?
Absolutely not. I do not have to watch shows that have attractive women in it. Breaking Bad did not have many attractive. Even though Anna Gunn is attractive, she looked frumpy in the show because she was a housewife.
Right. And they did that. And then, as the season progressed, when she was pretty much becoming despondent because of what Walter was doing, they had her wear bigger clothes to make her seem like she's losing weight and because of the stress that Walter was putting her through and all that. But other than that,
maybe I should stop wearing those size small T-shirts.
that's a start.
If you got it, flaunt it. Well, I'm never going to agree with you on your point of view on certain television.
George, okay, George, name a show that doesn't have an attractive female that you like. Does not have an attractive female. Or does not have nude scenes every other scene like a Showtime, Cinemax, HBO show.
Well, an attractive lead character or supporting, because that's bullshit. You can't ask that question. Hollywood is all about attractive people. How are you going to ask that?
Name your top 5 shows.
Top 5 shows ever or current?
Current.
Well, Breaking Bad, but that's off right now.
All right, pass on that one.
Other shows that I watch, Newsroom. There's a few attractive women on there.
Next.
And not attractive.
Yeah, your argument holds no ground here.
What's your next show?
That's a good question.
Mad Men. Modern Family.
Yes, Modern Family.
Yeah, Mad Men and Modern Family have some of the finest women on those shows.
Okay.
He ain't right.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. What television program does not have an attractive woman on it? You tell me that.
No offense to Rebel Wilson, but Super Fun Night.
Okay, is she the only female on that show?
No, but her counterparts are equally unattractive. No offense to them.
All right, well, this was just the first episode. You're comparing one half hour of television to 65 hours.
No, there is actually one character on there that's pretty funny. She is the overachieving hot girl that's trying to move in on Rebel Wilson, and she's like the heel basically to Rebel Wilson, who always puts her down.
I would have to say Ray Donovan is also another show that I watch and I enjoy very much. Boardwalk Empire, I like as well. This is quality programming.
We're gonna call you the premium package from now on.
You should.
Brian, no laugh for that one? That was a good one.
All I know is that there's so many connotations you can go with that, and premium package. You son of a.
I'm trying to cause a conflict. Breaking Bad was the shit all the way through, which is so rare for a TV show. I mean, was Sopranos even this good all the way through? Every episode being so engrossing.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Was Sopranos even this good from start to finish, or did they have lulls? Because I've never heard someone say Breaking Bad even got bad for no pun intended, bad for a second.
No, there were lulls in The Sopranos. Towards the end, it kind of strayed away from what it was doing, and it got a little bit, what's the word, psychedelic in some sort of episodes, going into different dream worlds as far as Tony Soprano was concerned.
Okay.
But it was not as high impact as this show. Definitely not. That was more of a family oriented crime drama, and it showed you the realness. Even though Breaking Bad was very gritty and real,
Yeah.
at the same time there was a lot of unrealistic aspects of it, a lot of luck breaking his way, and a lot of things like that.
Right. Well, okay, then the next question is Sopranos put up there as a better show than Breaking Bad just because it was the first one of this genre? Or is Breaking Bad really the best one of these dramas, these well-lit hour dramas?
It might be the best one. Sopranos was the pioneer, as you said before, and it's a classic in my terms. That Tony Soprano character is more iconic than Walter White at this point. Absolutely. Everyone thought James Gandolfini was Tony Soprano. People know Bryan Cranston is not Walter White.
Right. By the way, which character, George, are you more scared of? Like Walter White or Tony Soprano? Just out of curiosity.
Tony Soprano for sure. He's just physically menacing.
He's a burly
Walter White can break you down mentally and destroy you that way, but at the same time, no one ever really physically challenged him in the show. You know, he always found ways around avoiding a physical confrontation, which was genius because he was an older guy in his 60s. He had cancer. He was frail. If he went up against anyone that challenged him physically, he was going to lose.
I know. If this show was on Nickelodeon, he might have had to do a physical challenge.
I know. Maybe get some slime poured on his head. I think that happens in Super Fun Night throughout the season.
Whatever.
It just started.
You haven't even watched the show.
I think Mark Summers is going to make a special appearance, and Summer Sanders. They're just going to make the whole show around Summer.
The Summer duo. That's what I like.
Yeah, Keenan and Kel are on the next episode.
Can't wait.
I don't think they are, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm DVRing my TV for that shit. Yeah.
You know what? This show also has a connection to The Wire in that, as what you're displaying right now, people are rabidly talking about how this is the best thing ever. And are offended if someone challenges it in any way, which I still did not.
I don't think George is offended. He just wants to know where you're coming from. That's basically it.
Yeah, I'm not offended by you saying that it's a bad show. That would be your opinion. I am offended by you saying that this is convincing people that television is all good, when obviously you're a fan of a show that is not good. Or several other shows.
No. You completely misunderstand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this show convinces people that TVs are the new film and there's no reason to go out, whereas Super Fun Night is a stupid comedy show. That is what it is. Something that would, if you saw it on, you'd put it on anyway, but it is no way challenging a comedy film.
No, this is not challenging a film either.
It's just raising the stakes on what television can be. How's that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't look at that at the 1 hour drama on television and say that people are comparing them to film when you're not doing the same thing for a half-hour comedy and not comparing it to like Bridesmaids or something like that. Why? What's the break there? Why can you compare one and not compare the other?
It is the fact that the quality of the lighting in these 1 hour dramas tricks you greatly into believing that why go see a movie when this thing's on every week and look how good it looks.
No, absolutely not. You're going to still see a movie if you want to see it. This is just an added venue of entertainment.
You would, but look at how many people stay in these days instead of going out. If you drive by a place that used to be full of people, some of these places are now empty.
Well, that's because everybody's broke.
But look at a park, which costs no money. No one's in a park anymore. When we were young, that was not the case.
No, society has changed, though. That's not because of television.
So you're saying that's a reflection of society changing in the first place?
Yeah.
Well, that's just the the tip of the iceberg. I mean, remember, we're in the age of the proliferation of media. You have video games, you have the internet. I mean, those two are like the main reason why you don't see a lot of people out in the park for the most
Of
part.
course. And you can
So,
connect with people now through your computer, through the video games, when back in the day, the only way to connect was going outside or coming over.
I know. Oh, speaking of misconnections in gaming, we talked last week about GTA, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
They launched the online server and it does not work.
What do you mean? My buddy was playing it the other day.
Maybe it works now, but as of the first day or two of the launch, it would take you a very long time to get on, if ever. You would have to log online, which could take minutes. It's a little bit confusing the way it's set up. Then they actually play you an intro video, like a 3-minute clip that you cannot skip. That's almost like a story for the online mode. And then when you actually get into the loading screen to load up a party or something for the online mode, it basically, you could leave it on forever. So I think they had a couple hiccups with the server or things not working properly or people not being able to get on.
No, now I was actually playing the online mode last night, to be honest with you, at my friend's house. And if you're idle for too long, it kicks you off.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
How is the online mode, by the way? Is it like GTA 4?
I really played only a couple minutes of it because then we had to leave, so I didn't get a feel for it. I literally only less than 5 minutes. I was just driving around. I shot some people. I didn't get into it.
Yeah.
congratulations.
Now the other people that were there,
Thank
was there any other playable characters that you ran across, or is the map so big that you don't do you cross any other people that are real players, or is it
like I said? He was playing. He was going to shut the system off. I played for a couple of minutes. I don't really have any details, and I didn't ask him about it, to be honest with you.
Right. Okay. Hey, George, do you want to get into your news stuff?
Sure. We can do that news.
Do that news.
We can do that news. All right. Well, first up, I want to bring up the big, elephant in the room called Obamacare.
Obama.
Hey, I'm not the elephant, but keep going.
Your name isn't Obama either, schmuck.
I just wanted to clarify.
Okay. You're just
Man, look, see what happened? This is what happens to people when you tell them that The Wire isn't good. George is completely set off now. Don't worry, George. Breaking Bad was the best show. It was.
Oh yeah, I know. I'll just watch The Middle or something that you like. Maybe that'll put me in a better mood.
Well, it'll put you in a more family-friendly mood to do the news.
Da 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 da. All right. So there's a big hubbub about Obamacare. The news brought to you by George Columbus.
Not George Clooney.
No, George Clooney's lost in space somewhere. So this evening...
What is this, the intro to the news?
This evening, on Shooting the Ish, on the forefront of our country's initiation for nationwide health care, George is reporting in Los Angeles, California, on what is a 75-degree day. Like always, like every other day in California.
A flowing gas theme, man.
We also on staff, investigative journalist Brian Williams, who has done nothing to prepare for the show ever.
No investigation, no journalism.
Yeah, no problem. Let's wing it.
Okay, so the enrollment for Obamacare officially started the 1st of this month in October. So basically what this means is that there's 6 months, people have 6 months to sign up for a specific health plan that is offered to you based on your marital status, based on how much you make, and based on how much you live. So apparently this act was signed on March 23rd, 2010.
Yeah.
By Obama. So it's It's not like this was a surprise to anyone, even though certain Republicans are acting like it.
Did you say our assholes?
Yeah, well, one
That
and the same.
that too.
One and the same.
Brian told me he's only getting Obamacare because he's black.
For the record, I already am covered medically by my job, so thanks.
Oh, nice. All right. I wish I was black. So,
Oh no. Correction. You wish you was poor. Get it?
I am poor, but guess what? I'm right above the threshold of starving. And if you're right above the threshold of starving, you still don't get shit from the government. So I have to be starving and living in the street in order to reap any benefits from the government.
You know, Obamacare is like the secrets in Legend of Zelda. It's like you know that they might exist, but no one knows the details.
Exactly, because all of this, every news outlet is just telling you Obamacare is in, there's a government shutdown, which I will get into, by the way. And the Republicans are fighting, they're not funding the government, blah, blah, blah. This is the deal. So, basically everyone in the country is going to have mandatory health care unless you already have private health care or it's provided by your job or your company. So basically this bars companies from rejecting patients with pre-existing conditions, which is good. Because let's say you're sick and you want private health care, they won't give it to you.
Wow.
Yeah, they will not give it to you, which is bullshit because that's what you wanted. And also, for a lot of private healthcare companies, if you have healthcare and you've been paying through the ass for years and you do get sick, knock on wood, let's say with cancer or something like that, they want to throw you off, which is bullshit. I believe that this is going to prevent all of that, but then again, this is the very, very, very beginning baby step stages of it, so we don't know what's going to happen.
It could be a good thing.
Yeah, it's the government sets up an insurance exchange in 36 states. So you're going to be able to shop for your own insurance, basically. And then the rest of the states, they're allowed to set up their own insurance exchanges. How that works, I'm not 100% sure. It probably had to do with electoral votes as far as the Republicans and all that kind of bullshit. Not electoral votes, I'm sorry. The representatives of each state agreeing and whatnot. So they had to come to some sort of agreement. So 36 states are going to have insurance exchanges set up by the government. Other states will set up their own. Those who do not enroll in the program will face a financial penalty.
That's not good. What are they going to do about all the drifters here on Venice Beach that have long since jumped off the grid? They're going to track everyone down? What is going on here?
No, just like they don't pay taxes, they're going to be off the grid just like usual.
Yeah, but I mean, a driver's license is an optional thing. This is telling everyone they have to get this?
You don't have to, but you're going to pay if you don't, which is bad. But that's bad. I don't agree with that. You can't. This is America, as a lot of people like to say, America, and it is a free country. Obviously, not really, but sort of.
Well,
and
well,
basically,
it costs a lot of money too. I guess one guy, just said this was his experience with it. It turned out that he was making like 10 G's a year, and it looked like about 20% of his check was getting taken out.
This is the deal, right? The program starts January 1st, and we have 6 months to enroll, and open enrollment ends on March 31st, 2014. So, for example, the cost, let's say you're a 40-year-old making $50,000 a year, right?
All right.
Yeah, let's say, right? That's average, below average, whatever. You're going to pay anywhere from $330 to $450 a month, potentially. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Hopefully, this is just an assumption.
We just got to catch up with the times. The Europeans kick our ass in terms of taking care of their citizens, and they pay high taxes. So,
yeah,
they're also socialist countries, which can, raises alarm to those in this country who wield guns and don't want to hear about that shit.
Of course, obviously that cost per month will vary depending on where you live. That's still a lot of money. Private insurers will set the rules.
What about all the illegal immigrants that are allowed to vote and get licenses? Will they have to pay the tax if they don't?
If they see, that's a tricky thing. Also, you're allowed to get a license, but there's no other repercussions after that. It's something else an issue that needs to be addressed. If this rolls out the way it should, with the way people saying it's going to be. Because if you're going to go apply for a license, then you should be considered a citizen.
Right.
But obviously that's not a rule, because you can get a license even if you're not a citizen. But that doesn't make any sense. They
Wow,
just want the money for that.
You did a lot of research on this. Thank you.
Oh, no need to thank me. I'm well versed.
Thank you, Brian, too. You seem like an expert in most things we talk about.
What?
So financial aid will be available to those who qualify for it. Once again, you have to be on the threshold of living in the street to probably qualify for any sort of financial aid, which is unfortunate. All right, so let's get to the penalty. All right.
Oh, God.
It's going to be
penalty.
I'm not sure if it's per year or biannually. I'm not 100% sure on when the penalties do have to be paid, but it's going to be $95 per adult or 1% of your payable tax income.
Per year or per month?
It's not per month. I know that. It might be. You know what? I'm not really sure. I couldn't exactly find that. They're not laying out all the negativities to it just yet.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, oh, it's 10 times cheaper just to reject the damn thing. I'll just pay the damn tax for it.
That's the thing. That's a possibility. So I'm not sure if it's per month, biannually, annually. I'm not sure yet, but it's probably not going to be cheap. The penalty rises each year.
Wow.
Yeah, it will be capped at $2,085 per household.
Yeah, and where's the money go to of all this penalty money?
Where does all the penalty money for anything go to?
A yacht for some fool.
Some crap like that. By 2016, if you have not signed up for any sort of insurance and you continue paying the penalty, it will be $695 per adult, or 2.5% of your taxable income.
This is very interesting because some people have health insurance through their work, and then what if that changes? Now you got to do this whole Obamacare thing. You're already hustling to find a new job.
That's a misconception of it. If you have insurance provided to you by your job, you will not be affected.
But what if you get fired or quit? Now you have to worry about a whole new thing while you're trying to find a new job or do whatever else you want to do with your life.
If that happens, that may be the case, correct. But if you already have insurance through your job or private insurance, you will not be affected. Now, a lot of people were up in a hubbub about small businesses being affected by this, but the small businesses actually might benefit from this because they don't have to actually enroll in any sort of program to offer the employees the health insurance. All they have to do is present them with what is available through the business if they decide to go that route.
Right.
The employee still has to pay for it. The business does not have to pay for it.
Okay. That's interesting.
But when the employee signs up for that specific health insurance, they have to list exactly where they work and how much they make. So the businesses will be affected, but not as the financial impact will not be as big as people assumed it would be. At least I don't think so. Not yet. I could be wrong.
Well, this is going to, make a lot of people happy and upset a lot of people, and I guess that's what the conflict is.
I don't know how I'm going to have to be able to deal with this. I make less than 50 G's a year, that's for sure, and I'm not 40 years old, but I will not be able to afford any sort of bill like that for health insurance. That's for sure.
What we should do, if gas prices raise, then health insurance price goes down. We should have that scale as a law.
I don't think that's going to work.
If gas ever goes above, that should be a direct scale. If the gas price goes down, then they can raise the health insurance as much as they want. If that goes up, then you have to pay like $2 for the doctor visit. I'm rambling here. Okay,
$2 copay. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Sure.
Well, I guess the way that it works with private companies, the reason a lot of times private companies have good health insurance coverage is because a lot of people are bought in, just like cheap insurance, like with a Geico or one of these places. So when 300 million people are now bought into health insurance, it doesn't stand to do anything but help. But because it's the government, I'm sure they'll find some way to fuck it up.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But that's what's happening basically.
And literally, is this just as a joke called Obamacare, or is this like for real called Obamacare?
The latter.
The what?
No, it's
The
really
latter is
called.
supposed. Yes, really called Obamacare, not as a joke.
It's not called the Affordable Health Care Act or one of the, it's literally called, if you get a card in the mail, it'll say your Obamacare number is this.
No, the act is called Obamacare. The insurance is not going to be called Obamacare.
It's okay, guys. I got Obamacare for my eyeglasses.
Congratulations.
Oh, right, and also, is it all sorts of medical things? Is it dental? Is it vision?
Yeah,
Is it?
there's going to be several different levels of insurance that you can get, anywhere from bronze to platinum. Obviously,
What is this, like the Mario Kart? Judging you at the end of the game or something?
I guess, I don't know, but it's going to be anywhere from bronze to platinum, and obviously depending on the platinum is going to be the most expensive with the highest rates, but also the least co-payment. And then vice versa.
This is, you could see the class system just coming to life in front of your eyes with this shit.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Very interesting. Do you have any opinion on this, Brian?
I guess the real question is, well, how will this benefit the middle class for the most part? Will it like help them stay afloat, or is it gonna widen the gap? What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think at this point, doctors might start making considerations about what type of medicine to practice based on how much for instance, if you have insurance, you would give more copay to a specialist than to a general doctor. But who knows how the rates will be with this? So this might change the medical field in terms of over the next 10 years, doctors might see that this is more of a lucrative thing to get into than this, whereas that had been, I don't know what I'm saying. It might change it's definitely going to change the game. We'll see how in the future, I guess. The other thing is that everybody comes to this country to become a doctor, but it's not necessarily that we are on the cutting edge of some things, but it's just that the doctors here get paid much more than they get paid in other countries. So yeah, I guess it's going to be interesting. Are you going to get it, George?
I'm going to have to pay something either way, it looks like.
Sorry,
I don't know. I'm gonna have to start researching.
But I guess it doesn't suck if you get sick and then get taken care of. Well, I guess a lot of people
simple.
Yeah, a lot of people that were against this were saying, look, in other countries, they have all these medical stuff, but they have a lack of doctors, and you have to wait. Basically, you have to wait like months to see a doctor. That was, some of the horror stories that were being told when this first came about. But, another thing is a lot of doctors flock to America, not just because we're on the cutting edge of some things, but also because of the fact that doctors here get paid a ton more than they do in other countries. So we're paying for people to be paid more, in a way.
Yeah.
And with the way things skyrocket out of control in general financially, and those Band-Aids, applying that Band-Aid, that costs $2. The little shit that we do in this country that they don't do in other ones.
Well, that's what ambulances do. Basically, if you have to call an ambulance and you go to the emergency room and whatnot, they charge you $50 for giving you Tylenol.
Wow. Oh yeah. $50 for labor and 20 for the Tylenol.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the thing is that gets me, a lot of things get me. But the thing is, the government, this is a government-imposed act, but at the same time, these private insurance companies are still going to be setting the rates, not the government.
Right. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's good in the way that people will be forced to have health insurance, and I guess they'll be healthier. But you know what? It's not the people that take care of themselves. I'm phrasing this wrong. It's
okay.
The people.
Let's put it this way. Socialism is a mentality. We can't be afraid that we're going to be socialists just because we have socialist policies, because behind all of those socialist policies are people in this country who are capitalistic. So there's always something to gain, and that's why this country is still a capitalistic country. we're going to use these these new policies that are supposed to be for the betterment of everyone, but still there's going to be a lot of greedy people making money off the deal. This is not for
You're
the
absolutely
betterment
right.
of people. I'm not saying this act wasn't made with the betterment of people in mind, but at the same point, there's money to be made, and that's the way this country works. You could put a bunch of communist laws into place here, and it would still work that way.
Oh yeah, because these giant, huge insurance company and pill company corporations are behind all of this. So obviously they have the pull for the government and which way what swings which way. So at the end of the day, they're basically able to control all these politicians because they're funding a lot of these campaigns, and they have control because they have the money. And now because of this, everyone's going to be locked into them for life.
Wow, this is entering a new era.
Congrats.
Error
This
or
is
era?
this is a new era of corporate control.
Yeah,
and
all
there
these.
is an error of corporate control, which reminds me, we're on what day of government shutdown?
Yeah.
Was it day 5 or day 4?
This is day 5, I believe, of the
Okay.
government shutdown, which is a sham, to say the least.
Right.
Well,
Because
yeah.
And
Well,
the last thing I heard that the Pentagon is going to try and get like over 500,000 of their employees back to work or something like that. That's all I heard.
yeah, well, okay, so basically the story is that the Republicans walked out on Congress, and that as a result,
Mainly the Tea Party. It was the Tea Party that basically are, messing with the government infrastructure.
this is very interesting for multiple reasons. Let me try to list them. For one, people are seeing what they already know, which is that government doesn't. The impression that they're getting is that the people in government do not give a shit about people. Number two, the Republicans, in a way, are taking some heat now, but in the long run might make a stance by people realizing, oh shit, isn't the government and all this gun control sort of trend saying that the government will take care of us? Wait a second. So maybe they're, trying to get a different message across, and maybe they're just sending a big fuck you to the Democrats and Obama and all those guys in general. Or maybe they're sending a fuck you over the gun thing and using this as the platform. But it is very telling in confirming a lot of things we already know about government and how these guys do not work well together. But,
Well, I mean, back in the day, they used to, even though they had their differences, like, say, 30 or 40 years ago, there was always, like, a common ground that, the different sides would come towards. But now, you have these guys who come in there with their own self-interest. It's all about position with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I guess they flex their muscle. If they're going to vote against stuff and Obama's going to basically sign presidential orders putting it in anyway, then they're going to say, okay, now we're going to show you our power. Check this out.
Right.
Check out this new trick I learned. Look at my new skateboard trick. Wheelie.
Right. Yeah. I think the real question is, if, let's say, for instance, the previous administration had, put this into play, would the opposing side, i.e. the Republicans, act this way? What do you guys think?
You mean, would the Democrats act this way if the Republicans...
Right.
No, I don't think so. It was a different time.
That's what I figured.
It was a different time, and it was, and I don't know if I don't know, I'm not too well versed in the subject to make an accurate call on that, but it is very interesting that, it just gives people more time to examine the fact that these guys are making a lot of money sitting on their butts, and a lot of the times we're paying a lot of high taxes, and we got people doing this filibustering stuff where they're basically getting paid for the day to bullshit. Now they're basically getting paid to do nothing.
Still getting paid. And
so I guess we can judge the result of this short term, because on the short term you could say, I guess it's all your point of view. If you're super conservative, you could say the Republicans are doing a brave thing in sending a message to the people that we shouldn't rely on big government. If you're maybe more moderate, you would say, or liberal, of course, but if you're moderate, you'd say they're bringing a bunch of greedy assholes right now.
That's true. I actually have a clip of President Obama at he has a solution to this, actually.
Here is we're starving, and the food here is great. The other part of it, though, is that right now this establishment is providing a 10% discount to all federal workers who are on furlough. And plus a cookie.
What is that?
So he's at a government facility cafeteria, and they are providing a 10% discount for employees that are on furlough, plus a cookie.
You know what? Obama's like a salesman in so many ways. He's like the Hulk Hogan of the Democrats.
He's an actor.
George, could you pull up that Hulk Hogan clip where he's just advertising for like a minute straight?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Obama has always been the type that says the right thing at the right time. His speeches are great, but I guess there's a lot of people who said he didn't do what he said he was going to do in one way or the other, and a lot of people feel like, we voted him in based on emotion, but in the end of the day, emotions are very easy to use against people. So do people feel slighted? Do you think people feel slighted by the fact that Obama kind of took them on an emotional roller coaster, or do you think they're happy that he's there and that he could use that good speech to change some things around in government? What do you guys think?
Well,
Hey, Hulkamaniacs, you proved to the Hulkster that you're a true Hulkamaniac by renting my new movie, Suburban Commando, one of the greatest movies the Hulkster's ever appeared in. Now I'm going to tell you about another big hit, the Hulk Hogan WWF Wrestling Challenge Game. By dialing 1-900-454-HULK, you can hear my daily Power Pack messages, giving you the latest scoops on the WWF. Plus, you can play my Hulk Hogan WWF Wrestling Challenge Game, where I'll be your manager for the match of your life as you wrestle against the biggest and the baddest dudes in the WWF, like Ric Flair and The Undertaker and others. You can win and be eligible for a drawing for a great prize, including a grand prize and all expense paid.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to offer 10% discount on all his items plus a cookie.
Let's have an Obama speech that sounds like this. Look, everybody, listen, everybody who out there who's poor or gay or black, let me tell you about a big hit we're working on in the government. And
yeah, it's
Mister. Listen, Democratic voters out there.
Over the next 4 months, you have a choice to make. Not just between two political parties or even two people. It's a choice between two very different plans for our country.
He sounds
Governor Romney's plan would cut taxes for the folks at the very top, roll back regulations on big banks, and he says that if we do, our economy will grow and everyone will benefit. But you know what? We tried that top-down approach. It's what caused the mess in the first place. I believe the only way to create an economy built to last is to strengthen the middle class, asking the wealthy to pay a little more so we can pay down our debt in a balanced way, so that we can afford to invest in education, manufacturing, and homegrown American energy for good middle-class jobs.
And now, George, can you play that Hulk Hogan clip one more time? Just the first 10 seconds.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey, Hulkamaniacs, you proved to the Hulkster that you're a true Hulkamaniac by renting my new movie, Suburban Commando, one of the greatest movies the Hulkster's ever appeared in. Now I'm going to tell you about another big hit, the Hulk Hogan WWF.
I don't want to be like conservative talk show host here, but it's very interesting what's going on. The government shutdown. How long is this going to last, or what's going to give?
There's no telling.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man. Apparently, you remember we were talking about that million Muslim march where the bikers showed up and caused the scene?
Uh-huh.
Apparently now truckers have said they're going to shut down D.C. one day.
They're going to shut down D.C.?
Yeah, they said they're going to go in there. I don't know if they're going to hold a rally or just because trucks are generally huge, like these big truckers.
Yeah.
They're going to go there and just basically block the streets or some crazy thing like that I was hearing. So you're going to see more public unrest when the government, who is doing these things that tell you have to pay these certain taxes because that's the price for being taken care of in a way.
I know.
At the same time, while they're shutting down and not.
Oh God.
All
I'm
right.
sure these truckers are going to have a lot to say. Listen here, brother. We're shutting down the government.
Now look, if you just look at the actual numbers and the data of the Obamacare plan, I think you feel differently, trucker from Saskatchewan.
What a dynamic duo you guys make.
Well, thanks for all the input, Brian.
No, you're welcome.
Yeah, you've been very helpful, our resident investigative journalist.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So, is there anything else to say about this government shutdown? Like, was there any other big news story or a politician that came out and had a great quote about it? Or I'm sure someone had to come out and say something.
There's been so much talking head stuff that it all sounds the same.
Yeah.
It's not even worth pulling up anything because everyone's just saying, oh, this is bad for our country, blah, blah, blah. Same thing, regurgitating the same points over and over again. All these, Republicans and all this kind of stuff, but no one's actually proposing any sort of solution.
Real quick before we go. Well, who do you think would be a funny person or group to take over the country with the government walking away from it?
I thought you were going to give us a choice. I really thought you were going to give us a choice like either A or B or something like that.
I would go for the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Socks on cocks for everyone.
Well, didn't they say all around the world we can make change? See, they were already they were already campaigning.
Right.
This is a perfect time for Linda McMahon, who lost all those Senate races, to just take power.
Yeah, Linda McMahon will never be in government.
What do you think, Brian? Who should take over the country? What group should take over the country? Anthony Weiner. He could slide right in there now. He doesn't need to win.
Well, we've had a Catholic president. So why not, let's make a Jewish guy, Jonah Hill. Why not?
Jonah Hill for president.
Yeah, Jonah Hill for president. Make things more interesting.
Well, if this changes from the Star Spangled Banner. He's a Pennsylvania constituent.
We should get that guy who was the president in Idiocracy to now be the president.
Oh, the Super SmackDown champion.
Yeah.
Terry Crews. Terry Crews should be the president of the United States.
What do you guys think? Is the outcry to this founded? Is this country in a way going to stoop to lower depths, or is this just everyone voicing their concerns as the country is being boosted up for the future?
I hope that's the idea, to boost everything up, but the way things are going right now, it's got to hit even a further bottom before it reaches top.
This is like an addict. This country's like a drug addict.
Some sort of addict.
A power addict.
I don't know, man, but Brian, what do you think?
This country's a power addict. We're gonna have to learn to use power responsibly after we hit rock bottom.
Yeah, but we're not known for that. That's against our reputation at this point. I mean, who do we owe money to? China is our biggest benefactor at this point.
Yeah, I guess
they're basically. I mean, they got us beat in terms of their economy, but we're not going to get into Germany. So, yeah, we're just. We're just consumers at heart.
See, the Germans found a way to take over the world without any violence.
Roughly, yeah, for the most part.
And the Japanese, check that out. Who won that war? Yeah. Who won that war?
I don't know.
Very interesting.
Good question.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Please.
So everybody, I got a plane to catch, kid.
Yeah, kid.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Shooting the Ish. We got shootingtheish.com, facebook.com/shootingtheish. And, Brian and George and me, Chris, we thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, or if you want to drop us a note or a voicemail, go to shootingtheish.com and emailing us at shootingtheish@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Shooting the Ish.